What's up, gang? Today we're going to be talking about Better Call Saul, Episode 5 and Chapter 11 in the textbook. So, the first thing I'd like to talk about is relativism and epistemology. So, in this episode, Chuck, who is Jimmy's brother, is in the hospital with symptoms from a disease called electromagnetic hypersensitivity, which only he has diagnosed himself with. A doctor has not diagnosed him with it. And basically, he describes it as an allergy to electricity. So anything that has a battery, anything that runs on electricity, it makes his skin burn and it makes his bones hurt and he's nauseous and he's fatigued and his heart is racing, the whole 9 yards, anytime there's electricity in the room with him. So he's describing his symptoms to the doctor who's in the room with Chuck and Jimmy. And Chuck is in the hospital bed and the doctor isn't really buying what he's saying. The doctor, she's kind of like walking around like, okay, do you think it's this? Do you think it's that? And he's like, no, it's electromagnetic hypersensitivity. So the doctor was engaging in epistemology by saying, how do we know that that's true? How do I know that it's electromagnetic hypersensitivity? So she actually did a test. So Chuck was laying in the bed, in the hospital bed, and the doctor kind of meandered over down to the bottom of the hospital bed, and he was just talking about his symptoms, and she just had him talking about, this and that and the other thing. And she just casually reached down and flipped on the switch at the bottom of the hospital bed that like powered up the bed so you can like raise it, lower it, up and down, heat it, cool it, all those things. So the electricity was running through the bed, but he was laying on the bed, and his alleged allergy to electricity wasn't happening. He was just laying there. He was fine. So the doctor, through epistemology, how do we know this is true or not, proved to, or in her own opinion at least, that it was not true and that Chuck was making it up. Also, relativism. So Chuck, from his point of view, he really was feeling the pain. He really was, in pain when electricity was in the room. It actually hurt him, according to him. So from his point of view, from that relative point of view, it really was real. It was the most real thing of his entire life. But to everyone else's point of view, in that case, relative to what they see, they just see someone that's kind of losing their mind. And so, since Chuck had no cosmology to explain his electromagnetic hypersensitivity, since he had no cosmology to back it up, the doctor and pretty much everyone else in the entire episode didn't really believe what he was going through, and they kind of wanted to send him to get committed to an insane asylum. But Jimmy stepped in and said that's not going to happen, because Jimmy was the one person that believed Chuck. And so even though he, in his heart of hearts, he didn't really think that the hypersensitivity was the real deal, he knew that Chuck wouldn't be making it up if he wasn't feeling something for real. And so that's pretty much where we are for that chapter. Chuck knows he's not crazy, but relative to what everyone else is seeing, they think he is crazy. So relativism, epistemology, and cosmology all played into this episode in a really great way. So, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.